What's up, guys? So earlier today, Bungie had their Warmind live stream reveal where we got to see a lot of stuff. Obviously, we're going to be going over all the main subjects of the stream, which is the new area, the new activity, and new changes coming to the Crucible and exotic weapons. But they did mention that we will be receiving a new raid layer on the Leviathan, which I'm very hyped about. Plus, there's also going to be secrets and hidden areas inside of the new destination on Mars, such as little scannable items, like question marks above enemies' heads that we can't defeat for some reason. We're going to have to figure all those things out. So the first subject is the new area on Mars, the Hive Basin. So the whole concept is that the polar ice caps are melting and it reveals Rasputin's first stronghold, which is where he was born / created, I don't know which one, and it also reveals the first Clovis Bray facility. Considering this is all about Clovis Bray, we will be introduced to Anna Bray and we will be able to interact with her, and she'll be the cornerstone of unraveling the relationship between Rasputin and the whole thing with the Bray Corporation, and she's going to be the vendor for the new area, which is pretty cool. With the ice caps melting, we'll be encountering a new type of hive. It looks like the higher tier enemies are called unhollowed versus the normal hive we usually face, which have hollowed. They have ice on them. Considering they've been frozen for I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of years, they definitely have some new upgrades coming to them. Plus, Bungie also dropped an Anna Bray trailer, and it looks like there's some huge hive boss at the end of the trailer where we're going to have to face. I don't know if that's the boss, if that's some new strike boss, maybe a new raid thing, but I really don't know what type of boss it is, but it looked huge. Also, weapon-wise, we do get to see a new style of sidearm. It's in the kinetic slot. It looks very stealthy, and I really like the camo on it. It has a silencer, has the little red dot sight on it. It looks freaking amazing. Hopefully, I can't wait to earn these weapons, man. I'm just so hyped. This next subject is a little longer, but we will be going over the new activity on Hive Basin, the Hive Escalation Protocol. This is going to be a bigger and harder end-game challenge with a lot to offer in combat and rewards. You will get access to this activity after you have completed the campaign. It's just like a public event, except you can start it whenever you want. All you have to do is walk up to it and start it and interact with the relay, and then Hive will appear, and you have to defeat the Hive, right? Seems pretty simple. There are some extra things in there, though. There will be multiple levels inside of this activity, 7 levels to be accurate. Each level / wave gets progressively harder and has a specific boss for each level for you to encounter. Once you get to the 7th final wave, the main boss will appear, and there's a total of 5 main bosses that change every week. So after 5 weeks, the first boss that was available will be available again. The activity has its own exclusive rewards to earn, and each 7th wave boss has its own unique rewards as well that you can only get from that boss specifically. The gear you can earn from the area is obviously Rasputin themed. We got to see it a little bit in the trailer, which personally I love Rasputin. I love the whole concept. I definitely love Outbreak Prime and the Sleeper Simulant, which all that stuff looks sick. In any event, to keep progressing through Escalation Protocol, after every wave you must find another relay tower and activate it to move on to the next level. Eventually the Hive will spawn a Shadow Rift where you must get into it and take out the crystals that are floating around it. If you don't do that, the Hive won't be charged to the relays, and then you'll lose, I would say, the activity. Once you've defeated the knight that spawns from the rift, you will also be given access to Hive swords, just like Destiny 1, the Swords of Crota, which do great damage to higher level Hive targets. It's really good for taking down a lot of enemies very quickly. You can also get armory codes from activities in the area, which you can spend after certain events and get access to a special weapon called the Valkyrie. It's a spear that does massive damage and needs to be used wisely, I would say. It doesn't have a lot of ammo, it doesn't have a lot of time to use, and so that means you definitely need to use it for certain engagements, whether it's taking down a whole group of ogres or something like that while you're in Escalation Protocol. We also get to see some new weapons in action in this activity. There's a new kinetic scout rifle you can earn. Obviously, the new and improved graviton lance we get to see as well, but we also get to see a new Rasputin-themed shotgun. The shotgun is a full auto shotgun, and when you get a melee hit, it does extra damage to enemies, which kind of reminds us of the Fourth Horseman from Destiny 1, does a lot of damage. They also talk about a sniper that comes with the perk box breathing, so if you aim down sight long enough at an enemy, you will get a damage bonus, especially to crits, plus triple tap. So this is probably about to be the best PvE sniper. We didn't really get to see it, but still I'm very hyped that they do have a sniper that's coming in that's specifically made for PvE activities. It's probably going to be pretty good in the raid as well. And we also get a new type of kinetic auto rifle that's available as well, and it looks a lot different from the other weapons we've seen so far. It's not Rasputin themed or anything, but we do get to see the new Rasputin themed energy SMG. Looks like a 900 RPM weapon, but still looks like it can melt. We also get a look at the new emote wheel and how that's going to work. So you basically get to choose what emotes you want, and you get to assign it to whatever you want on your D-pad or whatever it is for PS4 and Xbox and PC, So that's kind of cool that we get to choose which emotes we want. Maybe make them all exotic. I don't know. You can do what you feel. In any event, the whole thing with Escalation Protocol is that it's a very collaborative effort and definitely requires certain supers and weapons to perform the best like in this activity. Obviously, you're definitely going to want a tether. Definitely roaming supers like Stormcaller, like hammers. Maybe you want a hard hitter, right? Like a striker, maybe a void walker. Like you definitely want those things to take down a lot of enemies very, very quickly. I know they talked about the tractor cannon and how when you shoot somebody with it, it actually adds a damage buff just like it would with melting point or just like it would with a tether, you know. So having certain weapons are going to help you progress in this activity. Last thing I want to go over are the Crucible and exotic changes that are coming. So we are getting 2 different ranking systems inside of PvP, Valor and Glory. So Valor is going to be in the quick play and rotating playlist. So how you progress is just by completing matches. And if you win matches, you get to progress along farther, whereas Glory is going to be an exclusive ranking system to competitive, and your rank goes up by winning and goes down when you take a loss. Also, if you leave early, it is considered a loss as well, so you do lose Crucible rank in that area. So Valor is a little more casual. Glory is definitely made for the competitive playlist scene. Each ranking system has a thing called a streak bonus, where once you hit the cap, you can reset it and you'll have more bonuses added to your PvP experience. It's kind of like prestiging in Call of Duty, where you can reset it, kind of start at the bottom, but you don't have to lose any of your weapons or anything like that, right? You get more rewards, which is kind of cool. But for Glory, it can show a loss streak as well. It is like a high risk, high reward situation for Glory. But if you do get wins and you do get win streaks and you end up being able to, I would say, prestige, like you're going to be able to get some great weapons, right? So starting in Season 3, there'll be exclusive rewards from shacks that you can earn by performing certain tasks, whether it's reaching a certain rank, getting a certain amount of headshots, opening a certain amount of packages, resetting your rank, like etc, etc, etc. That'll give you access to exclusive emblems, weapons, and gear through shacks, which is pretty cool. And there's going to be an exclusive weapon to chase every season, which for the upcoming season, we will have the chance to earn a new pulse rifle called the Redrix Claymore. It has a new unique perk called Desperado, where if you reload when Outlaw is active, you get an increased rate of fire, like while keeping the same amount of impact. So essentially this weapon is about to be overpowered like crazy. The way you earn it is actually by reaching a rank called Fable inside of Glory. So once you do that, you will be able to have access to this weapon. Private matches are returning as well. I'm ready for those Destiny 2 tournaments, and I'm ready for it to get kind of big on like the MLG stage. Like I know people have set up tournaments as well. Even before private matches have came out, they already have stuff coming out with like solos, duos, like whole teams of people. They are ready to go. We'll be getting 2 new maps in this expansion. We'll be getting one called Meltdown, where it's located in Clovis Bray, and we'll getting another one called Solitude, which looks like it's inside one of the ice caps and kind of inside of Rasputin as well. Just a heads up, if you want to play the new maps in private matches, you need to own that specific expansion, but they will be available to play inside all the other playlists. So if you're in quick play, you can play this type of mode, which is pretty awesome. Lastly, they showed off a bunch of different exotic weapons and how they've changed. So Fighting Lion, they gave it more ammo and added more damage to detonation and less on impact to make it easier to use. Risk Runner has increased arc damage resistance, which is half damage when the weapon is out. The cool thing is now Superconductor can be activated when the weapon is stowed, but if you do want that half taken damage, you have to have the weapon out. So keep that in mind as well when you're playing with it. Skyburner's Oath, we've all seen the video of it. Basically, when you aim down sight, it's like a long-range scout rifle with explosive rounds now, but when firing from the hip, it allows for small tracking grenades, which is pretty awesome. I can't wait to use this thing. Obviously, the Dawn Blade Tomb in the Sky is about to be freaking crazy with this thing. I can't wait to use it. Hard Light now can change damage types on the fly like the Borealis Sniper on PS4, plus the rounds that ricochet and hit an enemy do twice the damage now, right? So ricochet rounds actually have like some viability in situations, right? Graviton Lance, we've all seen it. It's a 2-round burst with a void explosive when you get a kill. Plus, after you get that kill, there's tracking rounds that go after other enemies, which is awesome. It's kind of like Outback Prime from Destiny 1. Crimson had a few changes as well. They gave it more ammo, made the rate of fire a little faster to match the cadence of other hand cannons. Basically, allows for a faster time to kill, really. Like, Crimson is probably about to be one of the best hand cannons. Speaking of hand cannons, the Sturm and Drang have gotten significant upgrades. So getting a kill with the Drang fills the Sturm's mag just like it would originally. Like originally the Sturm's mag starts out at 12 and can go up to 20. So depending on how many kills you get with Drang, that will up the Sturm's mag. And what happens is Sturm's mag gets overcharged, right? So Sturm does extra damage when it's overcharged and can potentially 2-tap enemies, right? So in PvP, this thing's about to be crazy. Also, Drang has Rampage now, right? So you're gonna be able to drop enemies even faster with this thing. So PvP wise, you'll be able to 2-tap people, right? In PvE, you can fill this mag up all the way to 20 and do extra damage for 8 shots, right? That's gonna be freaking nuts. I can't wait for these weapon changes. I can't wait for Warmind. I am so hype. Alright guys, that's essentially my summary of the Warmind live stream. If you want to know more, definitely just comment below and I'll try to answer it to the best of my ability. But if you want to know how to support me, there'll be a link below. It's the best way to support me. I'll take you to a 4-minute video. It's not Patreon or anything like that. I believe it's a lot better than Patreon. I believe you guys get a lot more out of it than if I were to do Patreon. But if you don't want to do that, you can always like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment what you guys want to see below. I'm literally making content for you guys, so literally whatever you guys want to see, I will make it for you. But name it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll catch you next time.